They know I got them vibes, so you know them feds watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got rods on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes to the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think on my brain with the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed more. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a draw on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside the building, my EMP on the floor. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going mad, they trying to figure out how I do assault damage. Religious marches surrounded, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high ground to get an overstand. Now you from a distance, see your partner, they left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice, so you always die. I know you doing that ping thing. They gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield. It's been 7 minutes in the fucking game. I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, GOAT just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghost to ghost, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done.
They know I got them vibes, so you know them feds watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got rods on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes to the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out of the mud.
Can y'all hear me? All right, here we go. We had some technical difficulties. What's popping? Nano, Bull, what up? League Twitch, she ill wheel for real in the building. Statman, drop that sticker. Mad Titan, what's good? Kicks wheel in the building. Michael Fuller, what up? Zay. Water. What do we owe the pleasure? We got water in the stream today. What's popping, water? Man, I had some technical difficulties a minute ago. We should be good now. Are we good? Y'all can hear me? Everything straight? I had something happen to my like 30 seconds ago, like literally loading up. Y'all know how it is though, man. You gotta be able to smile through having a little technical difficulties every now and then. If that's the worst that's happening. How is the fan, water? Corey? Hope everybody doing good today, man. It's a Sunday. Barbershop Los in the building. What up? Q, we good? All right. Something happened with my audio, like as I was loading up the stream, because I was like, my scene duplicated. And if you know about like OBS and stuff like that, like if your scene duplicate, shit could be all bad. Shit could be all bad. Starting your 25 out of 25. Rams? right. God first in the chat, man. We here. I know. I gotta make sure we got everything in the right place. All right. You see the LTD token if you do the step ups? That's real crazy, right? You going Eagles with your other 25? All right. We got a few topics today to get into. I've been kind of slow rolling, easing into the preseason game because I didn't want to bombard it all at once. It was a late night game. I already dropped my initial thoughts of the game, dropped clips of that. We live on Facebook, Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. And we monetize on all four. So make sure if y'all watching on a platform that you can like or comment, that you please do so, because that helps us a lot. All right. Now we're gonna start off with I'm gonna work my actual topics backwards, and then we're gonna switch the scene for the lineup builder and the free agents. All right. We're going to start off by saying, like, as a Tennessee Titan fan, should you be worried that your number one overall pick, Tate, has 0 catches on 3 targets, and the 49ers first pick of the second round, Deshaun Striblin, had I think he had 6 or 7 catches for 70 plus yards in the first half. Is that a concern? I'm going to start off by asking y'all that, because I ain't concerned just yet, but I ain't gonna say like it. I ain't gonna act like I didn't notice that happened. I'm gonna ask y'all that question first. We're not gonna go off on a tangent today. We're gonna stay on topics. That way, when I go back, we won't be just hopping all over. Yo, Bull, appreciate that. David, what up? Definitely not time to hit the panic button. Do you know the first thing that I did? He said the 49ers were more intentional to see what they had, maybe. Why would the Titans not be intentional on seeing what they had? 49ers are a traditional powerhouse in the NFL, a perennial playoff team, a team that's been to the Super Bowl multiple times in the last decade. The Tennessee Titans, on the other hand, have not in the last quarter century. KT2 the GOAT, it will have my eyes open. Okay. He's not a number one wide receiver. The only reason he even looked half as good as he did was because of Jeremiah. Due to the second, maybe third, but I'll go to a second. That's fair. See, one thing about me is, like, even if you're a Jaguar fan and you have some bias, I still have to consider the opinion, because that's what I want. You know, I need some. I need some that's gonna go hard in the opposite direction. Because I ain't gonna sit there and act like him having 0 catches on 3 targets didn't bother me in the preseason game. I mean, Corey, like, a lot of people think that, like, this how the internet works. If one person thinks it, more than just that person thinks it if they say it on the internet. There's a lot of people that don't believe Tate is a number one. We've seen him in practice. We've seen him in camp. We've seen what he has the potential to be. Now it's nobody really knows. It's the preseason. We don't know how intentional they are about trying to get him the football. We don't know what the script was. Was Daboll just trying to be vanilla? Like, who knows? But all I know is he didn't have a catch. And it only bothered me because I seen Deshaun Striblin basically having his way against the Titans ones. Not the backups, but the ones. So I definitely thought about that. It said, I mean, your team has never screened structure, so maybe they were more focused on how the defense held up against the old team. Even the Jags, in my opinion, don't have a true number one wide receiver. Thomas got to show me something, because last year wasn't it. Now, ill will. In the playoffs, it was 2 targets to Brian Thomas Jr., 2 catches and a touchdown. I don't know why they were hell-bent on not getting Brian Thomas Jr. the football, because I think Brian Thomas can be a 1. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. can be a 1. I think Carnell Tate can be a 1, but I have to, it's more the proof ain't in the pudding. We got to see it to believe it at this point. He said, watch what happens next game. I mean, not even next game. Do y'all know? Do y'all remember who I compared Carnell Tate to? Do y'all remember who? Anybody like a hardcore Shop fan that's like, yo, I remember everything Shotbybuddha say because it always comes true to some extent. I compared Carnell Tate to Jay Jettis. Reason why I compare him to Jay Jettis is, like, obviously in Cincinnati, there's a receiver. His name is Jamar Chase that Carnell Tate played. Not Carnell Tate, but Jay Jettis played along next to at LSU with Joe Burrow, and he had incredible numbers. But he was overshadowed by a better receiver. You know, doesn't take away from what Jay Jettis is, but you know, Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase, right? And Joe Burrow had a crazy year. So if you compare Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate at Ohio State, it's very similar. It's people who didn't play a lot of fourth quarters, people who had a lot of yards per catch. And do you know how many catches that Justin Jefferson had in the preseason in his rookie year? None. He didn't have any, and his first game was a lackluster performance, but he still finished the season with 1,400 yards. I'm not saying that Carnell Tate is going to be Justin Jefferson. I'm not saying he's going to have 1,400 yards in his rookie season, but I am saying I'm worried, and then again I'm not, because it's the preseason. I don't know what their intentions on targets is, but I do know that I expect when the regular season hit, I will be thoroughly disappointed if the Tennessee Titans roll out against the Jets and Carnell Tate doesn't have a handful of catches for at least 50 to 80 yards. I will be upset. I can be on record saying that I'm cautiously pessimistic, saying that I believe in Carnell Tate. I see what he's capable of doing, but I gotta see it. You know, AJ Brown came, I ain't gonna say out of nowhere, but people weren't just like raving about AJ Brown coming out of college. And his rookie season was the AFC title game, 1,000-yard season as a rookie, holds the franchise rookie record, which I think that Carnell Tate can match or go beyond in his rookie stint. But I really was. I ain't gonna sit there and say that my antennas wasn't up, that he didn't have a single catch. If you're a Titan fan, you have to be objective and say, yeah, I was surprised with how well he's played in camp and practice up to this point, that he didn't have not one, or they weren't even at least like gonna force feed him for at least one. He said, you guys gotta show me. I ain't from Missouri. You gotta show me for sure. D, what up? Spot on with the Jets, because he's like a guy that is a number one, but you playing behind Jamar Chase. It's like saying, you know, like even Terrell Owens is a two playing behind Jerry Rice. You know, it's like one of those type of things that, like, you know, we're gonna see with Devontae Smith with AJ Brown gone. We all felt like Devontae Smith was a number one, but now he's got to go out and put the stats up. I think the better question is, how's the connection between Ward and Tate? That is a great question, because I think that goes hand in hand. When you see my critiques on Ward from the opening game was Ward missed the bubble screen to Wan'Dale Robinson. I expect Wan'Dale to be Cam's safety net. You see, it came back to Gunnar Ham, the running backs out the backfield. Cam Ward has on the one rush scramble he missed. I think Tony Pollard out of the backfield one, like, he's gotta hit his check downs. Cam, like, let me be clear, Cam Ward cannot be that fumbling the ball without getting hit, fumbling the ball in the pocket, losing the ball. I love Cam Ward. I wholeheartedly believe in him, but he cannot do that. Coming out this season, this season he can't do that, or I'm gonna be on his neck Forget Steelman, forget Kuharski, forget any of them. It's gonna be me on Cam neck if he come out doing that nonsense. That's a great question though, Los. Because I remember with Calvin Ridley in the beginning, him and Ward were having a hard time getting on pace until the Cardinal game when he hit Ridley for that pretty much game winner, and then Ridley got hurt right after that. So right as they found their chemistry, then Calvin Ridley goes out for the season. So they need to find that early and often. And Los, the reason why that's a great question is, to the other questions before that or the other observations before that, maybe they do need to be intentional about force feeding Carnell Tate the rest of this preseason to make sure that Cam Ward and Carnell Tate are on the same page. Yeah, Titans offense does need to bounce back against the Seahawks. But guess what, Titans? You playing the 49ers and the Seahawks back-to-back in the preseason. So it's not like you getting off the hook about who you about to play. He said Tate reminds me more of a George Pickens. Nah, George Pickens is the go up and dunk kind of eclectic personality. Carnell Tate is the silent assassin like Justin Jefferson that they're not going to wow you with their moves after the catch. They're not going to have this freakish athleticism. They're just going to run good routes, get open, catch the ball, and get upfield. When you think of Justin Jefferson, you don't think of him shaking people in open field. You don't think of him doing anything other than like running solid routes, getting open, and just catching the football. Like I more think of like Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, senior, not the young one. I'm thinking of the guys that just get open and get their hands on the football. It's like that's what I think of when I see Carnell Tate. The connection is there. We see it in camp. But it's a difference between seeing it in practice and seeing it in the game. We have to see the connection they have. And with them having the connection they had in camp, it does raise an eyebrow that they didn't connect at least once in the preseason game. Did that make sense? Like, you need to have that one flash in a play before he come off to the sideline and say, okay, yeah, nephew, yeah. We need one of those Charleston White. Yeah. We need one of those. I don't even think Cam had a tough game. I just think he was excited and was rushing things in the new offense. I think by the end of the preseason, the offense that he's in, he won't. But can we still blame Callahan? Like, he's antsy. He's you know what I'm saying? Like he's like a chicken with his head cut off. But maybe like as the preseason goes on, he's like this offense slows down where you ain't got to do too much, Cam. You ain't got to be Superman. Just get the ball out to where Dabo got the ball to go. Nick, what's good? All right. Now, we got the Carnell Tate part out the way. We're going to go to something secondary, which is Will Levis. Will Levis took a lot of sacks. I didn't see any improvement. Even though you're playing with the backups and you're playing against the Niners on the road, we'll see as we go because Malik Willis was able to get himself to the Green Bay Packers and get himself traded by playing well. We know that Trubisky is going to be quarterback too. And Hendon Hooker actually played better than Levis. Doesn't say much because it's the preseason. But it does say that like Will Levis needs to have one of those Malik Willis type games to where some team will trade a 7th round pick to get him. That's for himself. Because if he continues to play like he did in the first preseason game, the next 2 games, getting quality reps, like he'll probably get cut. He probably won't get traded. And, you know, Malik had those couple of good drives in the preseason that got him to the Packers and then had good games in Green Bay that ultimately got him a big time deal in Miami. And that's should be all the motivation needed for Will Levis. Did y'all see the same thing I seen or am I crazy that Will Levis looked like the same Will Levis we've always known back there? Corey, you rushing things slowly. We're gonna get there. We gotta stay on topic though. looked like he was definitely first year Levis. Oh, for sure. Like I was expecting like Levis, like, but he's rusty. He's old. That he sat out last year, all last year injured. He was kind of ran in the dirt with Brian Callahan, but maybe as the preseason rolls on, we can finally see Will Levis like have a good couple of. All he really needs is a good couple of series to make himself millions of dollars. That's all he really needs. But we ain't gonna waste that much time on Will Levis and Hendon Hooker and Mitch Trubisky. Dre, what up? But we will get to the next topic, which is the offensive line. Now, good and the bad. Good is J.C. Latham look healthy. Good is they protected Cam on the series, that he was out there when he didn't hold the ball too long, which is one of the entire fan base's pet peeves with Cam Ward, when he holds the ball and makes pressure for himself, which he did a lot in the first half of his rookie season, which was get himself sacked when the offensive line is actually protecting pretty decently. He said AR looked better. We know what we got with Pete. We know what Dan Moore is. J.C. Latham, it was good to see him back healthy. Myself included, with a lot of the Titan fan base. I think Fernando Carmona's got a good chance to take the right guard. I think if it's questionable of whether you should play Volson or Jackson Slater or Carmona, just play Carmona. And like, to me, going into the second tier of the offensive line, Austin Deculus could be Dennis Daly. He could be he could be in the long line of bad left tackles that's been there since Taylor Lewan. I do not, under any set of circumstances, want to see him when the regular season starts. I think Austin Deculus needs to go now. I don't think he got the foot speed or the hand speed to block at left tackle for Cam Ward. I really sincerely hope that if it's Crenshaw Dixon or it's Wagner, or there's some, and we're going to get into the free agents here soon, there's some left tackle out there that got to be better than Austin Deculus. Austin Deculus is 2 thumbs down, bro. Like he was just. Can you imagine if that would have been Bosa lined up across from him, or Daniil Hunter or Will Anderson or any of these defensive ends that we're gonna face in it? I know. He's really a Corey. He's a cone. He's a cone, bro. He's a cone. So I think Cam was big play hunting. Cam is a big play hunter, but Cam is gonna have to learn with Dabo, get the ball out. You're gonna have your opportunities to make plays, brother. At the center position, I think they're gonna go with Slotman. I think he'll be fine, as long as the people around him are fine. Backup center, James, Pat Coogan, like, nobody's excited about what they've done so far. But just like I'm gonna say at right guard, if James and Volson and some of these guys been in the league this long, and it's question of whether you should play him or a rookie, put Pat Coogan in at second center and just groom him, put the work in. Maybe he can become what Aaron Brewer has turned into in Miami if we give him some time. Slotman was not Tyler Lindenbaum in free agency. He's not some huge pickup that we got. He's another journeyman type of guy that understood Dabo's system, and we should treat him as such. And if you drafted Pat Coogan to be the center in the future that could work his way, allow him the time to work his way. I cannot stand when teams draft people to make them projects only to get frustrated when you have to put some work into that said project. That's what I want to see. And we're gonna get into my hope for the lineup in the two-deep in just a second. Yeah, he intentionally sped himself up, and he didn't have to. If he would have just like hit the check down to Wandale and not tried to force that one to Tate over the middle. And on that one where he broke out when he had a clean pocket and ran right and got pressured, like if you stand in the pocket right there for a few more seconds, you can hit your running back for 5 or 6 yards. Cam has got to live with the 5 or 6 yard pass this year. He has to. He has to mature into the quarterback that's cool with that 5 or 6 yard and making it third and manageable or second and manageable. He has to. Derek, yeah, he gonna, his blind side is gonna be cooked if we got Dennis Daly Jr., Austin Deculus back there. I do not want to see him. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. Like I said, we're gonna work this backwards, and then we're gonna do the lineup predictions last. Then I'm gonna get into y'all questions. All right, so when we talking about a big time glaring hole in my opening thoughts about the team, Corey was talking about the cornerbacks, Deshaun Striblin and Robinson, the backups. We're not talking about Mike Evans. We're not talking about Deebo Samuel. We're not talking about Ricky Pearsall. We're not talking about Brandon Ayuk coming back from going AWOL. We're not talking about Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, a CMC. None of the people that's been on the Niners in the last couple of years. We're not talking about none of them. We're talking about the third string, second string receivers that cooked R1s this past week in preseason. And we're going to go back to something that I talked about even before camp hit, was unless you get somebody who was an undrafted free agent or one of the guys to make some kind of other world. We played 17 different cornerbacks last season. We cannot have, somebody who was working at Pizza Hut when the season started, guarding Jackson Smith and Jigba on the road in Seattle. We can't do that no more. We have to go with depth. We've spent the most in free agency. We've had a really good draft. We have the most cap space in the NFL still, even after all our signings and extensions. So Tennessee Titans should now be looking at what I've always said they should look at as growing depth in places that you traditionally not have depth. We have to go back maybe 4 or 5 years to where we actually had depth. Back when Jack Rabbit and them was there, when we actually had Buster Screen, having some veteran guys that could get the job done, playing in that back. We don't want the Trey Avery. That's not what we talking about. So let's go into the free agent pool and see who's still available up until the moment, which some of these guys may have got picked up. But when I do it by age, Jalen Armour Davis was definitely one of the guys on the roster last year that was always in good position but could never seem to make plays on the football. Jeff Okudah, Trevon Diggs, Marshawn Lattimore, Tennessee Titans own legend Adoree Jackson. Kenny Moore was a person that I said, and I had people in my comments losing their mind months ago when I said the Titans should go get Kenny Moore. Why? Because if something happens to our starters who didn't play well in week 1 of the preseason, we're going to be so thin at corner. It ain't going to matter if you got Jeffrey Simmons and Aaron Donald rushing the passer with Myles Garrett and Reggie White. It ain't going to matter. You got to take your shot at having somebody young that can grow into the group. If you're going to go with veteran, I'm cool with a Kenny Moore or Marshawn Lattimore and just having somebody can get the job done. Them being a shutdown corner is past their prime, but somebody who's going to be in position to make plays is what they need at depth level. Because when you look into the Tennessee Titans depth chart at defensive back, you got big free agent signings with Cordell Flott and Alontae Taylor. Marcus Harris comes back for year 2. Kevin Winston and Hook back deep. But let's be honest. Chat. Keydrain Callaghan. Josh Williams, who didn't play, will be out there, is a solid pickup. But if you remember, I said Josh Williams and Nazeeh Johnson even before this is at the end of last season when I was going through, because I said the connection with the Chiefs, I could see them going after both of these guys, and they got them both. But here's the thing, Nazeeh Johnson, from, if y'all haven't heard the story about him trying to take something to conceive a child, wound up popping up, and he bombed on the substance abuse policy, so he's gonna miss 6 games. So scratch him off, and now we're talking about Keedrain Callaghan, Josh Williams, Jalen McMurray, Micah Robinson, Mario Goodrich III. Bro, listen. We not going to the Samuel Womack, Kyrie Lam. Bro, listen. Last year we was just picking up anybody that worked at the mall or anybody to play cornerback. We cannot be in that position with cap space. So Corey, I'm with you. When I look at free agents, I'm definitely thinking Marshawn Lattimore, Kenny Moore. Hell, I'd take Adoree Jackson back. He didn't do too bad in Philadelphia last year. Trevon Diggs would be a real stretch. I don't know if he would be a fit for what Robert Saleh's defense, but you gotta just take your shot. Maybe some other guys get cut that they got their eyes on, but as of right now, Tennessee Titans defensive back, Tony Adams and Kendall Brooks. I'm cool with what our backups at safety as of right now, but because I like the rookie out of USC. I hope that he's able to bust into that backup safety role. But right now, as it sits, like Tennessee Titans are very thin at corner. We're gonna need Cordell Flott, Marcus Harris, and Alontae Taylor to not only stay healthy, but we're going to need them to play a hell of a lot better than they did against the 49ers backups next week. Hit the panic button. Just got caught up on all the highlights. Yeah, Tajay Spears always looks good if he's healthy. Keyword, if he's healthy, Tajay Spears is dynamic. He said they need to be listening to this, and the front office needs to hire you. Tennessee Titans, not in Nashville. Send me the check, bro. I'm open, man. I got kids. All right, now we're gonna get into the last part of the topics before I get into y'all questions. Which next is, as we're looking at this depth chart, and we're looking at the offensive line, who they had projected starters. Dan Moore, Pete Slotman, Carmona, and J.C. Latham is who they got now, backed up by Austin Deculus, Pat Coogan, Cordell Volson, and Crenshaw Dixon. Just that quick, they've already changed the depth chart on ESPN that Fernando Carmona is the starter. And you got Rasheed Miller, Drew Moss, Andre James, Jackson Slater, Emil Wagner, and Garrett Dillinger are all your reserve guys. Now, let's scroll back over here and change this to offensive linemen. And we will start with left tackle. All right, so available left tackles right now: Cam Robinson, Taylor Decker. These are some guys that definitely they should take a look at. Some veteran backup left tackle. All these guys are over 30. It wouldn't be a waste to say. I don't think any of us would be mad if you took a Taylor Decker or a Cam Robinson and slapped them as a backup tackle. And and when you look and see Jack Conklin is still out there, drafted by the Tennessee Titans, Lucas Niang, like they got to take a shot at some of these guys in free agency who's not going to cost them a lot of money, who they could potentially have. And I think they should go ahead and start trying to groom Crenshaw Dixon as the backup left tackle, because he can always swing to right. But I think you better off trying to find a right tackle in free agency and grooming your left tackle swing. So I think that they should put their eggs in the basket with Crenshaw Dixon playing left tackle behind Dan Moore. And if he works out, great. And if he doesn't work out, he's better than what they've been bringing in. He's better than Austin Deculus. I'd be willing to blindly put my money to say Brandon Crenshaw Dixon could play left tackle better than Austin Deculus. And then if you wanted to bring back Jack Conklin or somebody as a rotational piece until you continue to draft in the future, I think that's the direction that they should go. 2 times, what up? David, save your questions to after we get through with the topics, because when y'all just throw a bunch of questions that has nothing to do with what we talking about, we're not hijacking the conversation and talk about something different. All right. Last little piece before I get to y'all questions is we're going to right now take who we think is going to start for the Tennessee Titans after week 1 of the preseason. It's not way too early at this point, but I would say early shot of who we think the projected starters will be come week 1 against the Jets. Obviously Dan Moore at left tackle. Obviously, J.C. Latham at right tackle. Obviously, Peter Skoronski at left guard. At center, I think it's going to be Slotman. I don't think Pat Coogan, the standout center from Indiana that we drafted, I don't think he's done enough. But I think he has done enough to say, let's groom him for our center in the future to take a shot at. Right guard, this has been the topic since the beginning of the end of last year. Were they going to try to bring back Zeitler? Volson they brought in. Jackson Slater was drafted last year. They've had a lot of guys, but right now I think the fan base is pretty much set on thinking that Fernando Carmona is going to win the right guard role. He's going to make mistakes, but I'd rather have a big, mean, nasty right guard that's young than throw some journeymen that haven't proven they can hold down and start a spot. So this is how I think the offensive line is gonna look as we start. Tight end, you seen the screenplay to Gunnar Helm. I think Gunnar Helm and Daniel Bellinger are going to be tight end 1 and 2. And obviously at wide receiver, Carnell Tate, the top 5 draft pick, who didn't have a single catch in the preseason game, is going to be wide receiver 1. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is wide receiver 2. And I think you wind up having Calvin Ridley play a move role where it's interchangeable between him and Wan'Dale. With your backup guys being Aomaner and DK. I think the reason why Cam and Wan'Dale have chemistry, that Ridley and Wan'Dale I think will both be in motion a lot as the season goes. You already see them try to get bubble screens to Wan'Dale. Healthy Calvin Ridley looked healthy out there in the past game, and he looked like if you get him matched up on somebody's second or third corner, he still got that burst and route running to get open on those end cutting routes where he can run after the catch. He still got that speed, but I think this is how the receiving core will look, and the rest of it still has a little time. Now, we know the Tennessee Titans do not run fullbacks. They haven't for a long time, but I think the rookie Jaron Canick and Khalil Mullings, seeing that both of these guys were converted linebackers to a tight end and converted linebacker to running back, I think these two guys will be special teamers on the punt team, the kickoff team. I think those will be your guys that's in coverage. If Khalil Mullins is hurt, I see them maybe keeping Julius Chestnut as a secondary returner in certain games, but I think Julius Chestnut will find himself on the practice squad. So I think this is what they'll do at fullback. But we're gonna move these. Obviously, Cam Ward is quarterback 1, Trubisky is quarterback 2, but running back, he scored a touchdown. Guys had 1,000 yards in the last 4 seasons that he's been healthy. Tony Pollard, and then I think Tajay Spears is your backup running back. Now, here's the deal. Nick Singleton is the third, and I think they did him a disservice running him into a brick wall in the game against the Niners. I would like to see them get Nick Singleton the ball in like non-obvious running into a brick wall type of situations. The thing is, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears are both on contract years. I don't think either one of these guys will be back on the Titans next season. So you really have to find a way to get and hope that halfway through the season that Nick Singleton can push himself higher up on this depth chart as the season goes on. She was good. Yeah, really in the slides for sure, deadly. So I think this is how your offense will look with your starters when they come out week 1 against the Jets. I think this is what we're going to see. I think this is what we're going to see come week 1, right? Let's name this week 1 starters. All right, and then on defense, we'll skip defense and go to special teams. Obviously, it's Tommy Townsend. Obviously, Joey Sly, who struggled in preseason, who they brought in kickers to challenge him, wound up going 4 for 4 and being the MVP of the game the other day, having four kicks, one for almost 60 yards. Guy won 100% on kicks. That is your special teams unit with Chimere DK as your return man. That was an All-Pro last year as a rookie. So I think this is just special teams, right? Now let's go to defense. He said X or Bryce is the question for that last spot. I like to see Restrepo. I like to see Restrepo have that spot. The Tennessee Titans, let me say it again. The Tennessee Titans have to get out of this mode of saying we're keeping somebody on the roster because this dude is a good punt gunner. We need somebody who's on the roster because they catch footballs. I don't want to see any more receivers on the Titans. We have enough defensive backs that we have question marks about to be spending roster spots on offense for guys who can cover punts. We should be aiming to punt less. All right. So let's go to defense. Hope he stays healthy this season. Kevin Winston Jr. at free. Hook. Hope he has a better season at strong safety. He was guarding grass a couple of times out there Sunday. Obviously, Alontae Taylor. And Cordell Flott are your 2 outside corners, and Marcus Harris is your starting slot corner, who I really like. Defensive tackle, obviously Jeffrey Simmons, John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson. And if you looked out there, they started Elliott because Franklin Myers didn't play, but Keldrick Falk was out there a lot with the ones. This is a good question. Do you think it's going to be Femi who played well, or do you think it's going to be Keldrick Falk who gets to play that other edge? That's a good question. So we're going to put both of these guys here, and then we're going to make our decision in a minute. Femi was getting upfield and making plays. And Keldrick Falk fits the mold. I do think that if we talking about week 1, unless Keldrick Falk does something crazy, I would think that Femi will hold down, because last year to start the season, Femi was really starting to come into his own, setting a hard edge. And in that wide 9, how he stopped that misdirection play, you really need somebody that's learning and growing at that edge. Linebacker, a guy who we all love, James Williams. Guy was a safety at Miami in college, converted into a linebacker on the Titans, and now on his second defense in the NFL, starting to really show what he can do at that Sam linebacker. Weak linebacker, Cedric Gray, obviously one of the league's top tacklers last year. And obviously at middle backer, we had Cody Barton, who I think is going to start. But when you see Cody Barton fly up in the hole and miss tackles, you really got to start thinking about, in this preseason, we want to see more of this guy. I want to see more Anthony Hill Jr. Like, I think that Cody Barton would start day 1, but I would really like to see a world where Anthony Hill Jr. Gets to take that starting role. And it's only going to be with reps, because one thing about Cody Barton, he led the team in interceptions last year. He's not ever going to be the guy that flies up in the hole and hits the ball carrier or the quarterback. But as for right now, until Anthony Hill Jr. is 100% up to speed to run that middle backer, I could see Cody Barton starting week 1. But this how the Titans starting defense is I think day 1 is going to start. Very, very, very good questions about who's going to play these backup roles, right? Keldrick Falk obviously is going to be there. Jacob Martin is going to be. I would venture to say that it would probably match more like this. Jacob Martin will rotate Jermaine Johnson, and Keldrick Falk would rotate Femi. As for right now, then obviously Elliott and Solomon Thomas. Unless Jackie Slater, the rookie, does something crazy to push one of these two guys, like I think that's how that will look. You got Diabate. We want to see a little bit more of him. Obviously, you got Tony Adams, who plays well as a spell role, and then Kendall Brooks will be the backup safeties. But I think this is how the depth will look right now. He didn't play week 1, but Josh Williams will be the next man up at corner, rotating in. And then this where it gets scary, chat. But we're talking about Keydre Callaghan, Micah Robinson. Like bro, it just looks bad right there once you get past the first 3 or 4 guys at corner. They said Daquan making the roster. Oh, CD, what up? So like this is how I think the depth will pan out. But as for right now, I think if we're going day one starters, I think this is how the defense is gonna come and fare out. This is how I think the defense is gonna fare out day one. He said play key up the saxophone music. But that's why I say, like, now tell me, chat, like, tell me you wouldn't feel better if they did this. You can't tell me you wouldn't feel better if they did this. Tell me you wouldn't feel better if they did this. Marcus Harris can play outside or in. Josh Williams as your other backup. And you got Kenny Moore in the slot with Alontae Taylor and Cordell Flott. You can't tell me this wouldn't make you sleep a little bit better tonight if they did something like this at that position, right? You can't tell me you wouldn't feel a little bit better on the defense if they did something like that. But as of right now, we got, and I think Marcus Harris is gonna be good in time. But I do want to add more depth. But I think these are your starting offense and defense for the Tennessee Titans. Week 1 against the Jets. I do think that's how it's gonna look. I think I'm liking what I'm seeing. Carmona O-line is getting set, but the problem ain't the starters. Obviously, what I just went over and showed y'all visually. I'm a visual person. I like y'all to see it visually. I'm really feeling like we have to work on our depth, because last year was a year where it was a revolving door at certain positions at defensive back and offensive line. We cannot afford in the first year of our new coaching staff with Saleh and Dabo, and year 2 of Cam Ward, which is a really big show improve year of what we expect out of Cam Ward to roll out there with lack of depth. So we have set better depth in certain positions, but we need depth across the board for the Titans to be respected and to be taken serious as a real competitive football team that can get to a primetime football game. Forget the playoffs. Can we get a primetime game? All right. So now I know I usually answer questions on the fly, but now for y'all questions or anything that y'all wanted to ask, because I wanted to stay on topic because when I do have topics of how I want to lay them out, that we lay them out that way. Because while y'all are getting those questions together, I would show y'all what I would do different with the roster. I'm gonna show y'all what I would do. I don't like Austin Deculus. I take Crenshaw Dixon and I groom as my backup left tackle to Dan Moore, and I go out here in free agency and I go get me a free agency, a right tackle in free agency. I'd take Pat Coogan would be my backup there. Boom. Cam was popping. Show every road that Tate ran. I ain't seen. I watched the tape, the breakdown of the O line and Cam Ward. I ain't got around to Tate's runs. Yeah, Corey, that I couldn't find him in the database, but Jack Conklin will be who I would put. I would go after. I would go after a free agent right tackle. I mean, yeah, Jonah Williams, Niang, Jack Conklin's out there. We had Jamarco Jones. If I ain't mistaken, Jamarco Jones was a Titan at one point. Could be wrong, but yep, Jamarco Jones was definitely a Titan and got hurt. I want to say JC's first year. But this is what I would do. This is what I would do right here at offense to break down. Defense right now, I want to see the kid from USC get some burn to maybe push Kendall Brooks for that backup safety role right there. Tony Adams is going to lock down the other one. Diabate. I think Mausi is the special team other linebacker. Well, I'm not really concerned about that. But for sure right here, what I would be 1,000% trying to do is I'd be trying to go get Kenny Moore. You know, call me crazy. Call me crazy, but I'd definitely be trying to get Kenny Moore right there. Keldrick Falk rotating with Femi. Jacob Martin rotating with Jermaine Johnson. And then obviously we got Jordan Elliott and Solomon Thomas. Unless Jackie Slater can push one of these guys out of the way. I kind of see it, you know, going this direction. Truman Jones, Jalen Harrell, guys that may fill out some of the bottom of the roster, but I don't think they're that big of impact guys. But, you know, if you could bring in Kenny Moore at the slot and move Marcus Harris and Josh Williams into spill roles, I think that would improve the roster. But right now, as we sit, we got Keydrain Callaghan and Michael Robinson playing that last corner position. Football performance. Okay, I'm going to check them out. Oh, yeah. You can always come home. B. Walker, what it do? All right. So that's what I would do with the roster. I'm going to open it up. We're an hour into Shop Talk. That went by that fast. But if y'all got any questions, man, now's the time to ask, to shoot any questions y'all got through. So we went over Carnell Tate versus Deshaun Striblin. Should we be worried? Offensive line, who we think the starters will be and what they should do at depth, what they were good at, what they were bad at. The free agents that are still out there that we could take a shot on to finalize some depth as we get closer to the season. And then Will Levis and Hendon Hooker, how they look at backup quarterback roles. Then we're going to wait to game 2 to see if Cam can't slow down and play within himself before like, because I'm telling you, the arrows are going to loose. You know how you be watching game of loose, you know, pull, loose, like arrows is going to loose. They're going to blot out the sky if Cam Ward come out rushing, seeming loose with the football. Like that one play We held the ball and got the penalty, and it looked like he was throwing the ball away and got the intentional grounding. But we've all seen Cam Ward do that and fumble the ball for a touchdown multiple times in his rookie season. We cannot have that. Tate or Neighbors? I think Neighbors will have a better year, but Carnell Tate, like if Carnell Tate breaks 1,000 yards this season and the Tennessee Titans passing offense improves, you know, like it really won't be a this guy versus that guy debate. It'll be that Carnell Tate has arrived as a true number one for the Tennessee Titans. I think that's more important than basing him against the Malik Neighbors, because Malik Neighbors' rookie season, he got 175 targets. Carnell Tate is not getting targeted 175 times this season. You know, so with Neighbors' big numbers came a whole lot of force feeding. Let's say y'all outside. Like I've been on record saying I think that Cam Ward should break Tannehill single season. He should eclipse what Tannehill's best year was, which is like 38, 100 some yards. Carnell Tate should challenge AJ Brown's 1,050 that he had his rookie season. Like I think some Titans should challenge to break some franchise records. I mean, people say like, oh, it's a big night. No, they play 17 games instead of 16. Those records were set with 16 games. They're gonna have 17 games with all the resources that we've never had in Tennessee. All right. Y'all got any questions? Y'all got any questions? There's an hour into Shop Talk. See, this be my thing. Everybody have a lot of questions about things that have nothing to do with the topics that we talking about for today. And then when we're done talking about those things, and I say, you got any questions? It's crickets. Let's just, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate people saying things, but we definitely are not getting the Shop Talk hijacked to talk about whatever anybody else wants to talk about. Sonny Styles had a rough first game. I didn't get to see the Commanders highlights. I watched like 4 different games today, highlights, but I didn't get to see the Commanders. What we asking? Now I'm opening the door for any questions now. And do me a favor, man, when I go back and break these down and I put these in shorter form, do me a favor, pop out on the YouTube, man. Hit those likes and comments. And if I missed something and you missed it, go back and drop the question in there. I'll get to it and I'll readdress it. Question: do you think Bane's short arms theory were valid? I think it's valid. I mean, but he's a gamer too, you know. So if he goes out there and lives up to the hype of what we all know he can be, I don't, you know, he's got a chance to disprove all of that. I didn't get to see the Buccaneers play either. That's another game I'll go watch. Gunnar Helm gonna have a good year. I think Gunnar Helm's gonna have a great year. I really do. He looked a little bit more athletic too out there the other day. Downs didn't get a chance to do much either. Statman said nothing. They ask you about everything when you're done. Yeah. And I say that sincerely. I don't mean that like with no malice. Like when people be asking like off the wall questions while we on a topic, it's like I don't want to get my mind hijacked by the question then. Like if I'm just playing the game or we in this mode where I'm like, yo, ask any question y'all want, ask any question. But if I say like, yo, we're gonna talk about this, and this first and get them out the way, like what's the theory of evolution on the primates and apes and bro, like I not right now. Yeah, Todd Simpson cut up too. I seen that. Todd Simpson cut up. But I told you, Los, I thought that Todd Simpson would be great with McVay. How you feel about Jaden Daniels' jersey? Man, listen. He can have a valid feel of saying after he left LSU, he didn't feel welcome. But when you open your mouth on the internet and you say like nobody should use my jersey, like you open yourself up for people to take shots at you and be critical of you. So like the internet is gonna have their way with him until this dies down and he goes out and does some crazy things on the field. '49ers may have found. No, they did. He looked like a better Juwan Jennings out there. Deshaun Striblin did. And just imagine Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Pearsall's out, but George Kittle, McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, he gonna fit nicely into that rotation of guys that's gonna get to work on the third and fourth corner of just getting open, catching those physical at the catch point type of catches that he's built for. Will Georgia three-peat this year? Nah. Nah, what's good? All right, y'all, man. That's over an hour in the shop talk. I'm gonna chop these up into segments. I'm gonna throw them up on the YouTube. Edit it up pretty good. I will be back on tonight. We will try to finish the event for Madden. Legends dropped, and we'll get to check out the Legends and try to continue upgrading this team. I'm up to like 400,000 coin, but I gotta get Dwight Freeney. Dwight Freeney is a definite must. Dwight Freeney is a definite must, and I'll show y'all my squad before. I'll show y'all my squad before I get out of here, or where I'm at now. I got Nick Westbrook Akine. I took my Evo off of DK and put it on him. So it's Pittman, Colton Dowell, Nick Westbrook, Calvin Ridley, and Wandale are my receivers now. And on defense, you know, I got Woolen, Williams, Watson, Alontae Taylor. I got Dante Fowler with the Evo on him, and Javon Hargrave. I got them both B and D. So they are on my TT now with Big Jeff and Jermaine. But Jermaine, I'm sorry, my brother, you about to get replaced by Dwight Freeney. Because I'm 25 Titans, 25 Seahawks. So we're definitely going to have Dwight Freeney. I just ain't going to pay the exclusive price for him. I'm going to try to wait till he goes down and snipe him. And then we try to go through the event, try to win the event against head-to-head and win it against the computer. And then that should have our coin stack looking pretty nice if we're able to complete that So that's how the squad looking right now, and I'll show y'all. I'll show y'all some of the upgraded players that I have. Oh, and I've been messing around in Raiders playbook. Raiders got some nice additions to what I've been trying to like run a new offense, but the Raiders got some nice stuff in there. So this Javon Hargrave is B&D. I do not have Evo in him, but he's pretty solid. 80 speed D tackle with 83 block shed, 83 finesse. And then I got obviously this Tariq Woolen is an absolute goon. 87 speed, 90 zone, 85 man. Tariq Woolen is a complete monster. Dante Fowler, since I put the Evo on him, 84 speed at edge rusher. He doesn't have good stats on block shed or finesse, but I'm going to contain him and let him run around at the quarterback all game. And then where's Nick Westbrook? Where is Nick? Okay, and then this is Nick. I got Nick updated to 85 speed, 84 short, 82 medium, route running at 6'2", and I got him in the slot. And then I got Colton Dowell and Michael Pittman on the outside, but this Colton Dowell is a maniac. 86 speed, 80 medium, 86 deep, 87 jump at 6'3". This is my Evo demon. Colton Dowell, Tennessee Titans special teams superstar. So that's how my squad looks as of right now. So tonight when I come back and we get into some gameplay, that's what we're gonna be looking to do. And let's see before we get out of here how much that Dwight Freeney is, because I'm not giving premium price for nobody. 400,000. He'll take my whole coin stack to get this Dwight Freeney, but he'll be 85 speed, 81 block shed, 87 finesse. This dude will be screaming off the edge opposite of Dante Fowler. He's a must-have, but we for sure got to find a cheaper way to get him. What Evo? I got the Evo that comes with I got the Evo that comes with this group. And I still got one more Evo to unlock. Let's see how much the sets are for Freeney. So if I wanted to do a set on Freeney, you need 582 overalls. There's 70. I could snipe him for 350. You probably save, 50, 60,000 coin doing a set on him. But man, listen, I can't give my whole coin stack to an edge rusher, no matter how good he is. But that's what we own. And in the events, I gotta finish. I gotta finish the longest drive head to head. We 5-0. We need 5 more wins, and then in the computer, we need 4 more wins. So tonight we need to get on here and bust out these 5 games and win them all, and then win these 4 against the computer, and try to lock in some cheap rewards, right? That should be our game plan tonight. And if we able to do that, that would put us up like close to like 1 million coin, and then I have no problem getting Dwight Freeney. I will have no problem. But hey man, appreciate y'all, man. God first in the chat. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms, because on YouTube I will be chopping these up and throwing them out as clips. Make sure y'all like and comment. If y'all got any questions that I didn't get to in the stream, pop back up tonight when we are on the game, or drop them in the comments of the YouTube video when they go up. To be a supporter to unlock picture-in-picture late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free $99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. Yo, if you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and Cashapp, is also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official merch store on Tactic, formerly known as Geeks Unlimited.